Hey music fans, as a roadie I had this great opportunity to tour with all these bands. I wrote a book about my experiences on the road and it was the #1 new release on Amazon and Bios and it's now sold millions of copies on Kindle. I'm Joel Roadie and this is my podcast, Party Like a Rock Star. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Not that I'd ever tell a lie to, well, most of you. I think it's actually the last line of my book. If you don't want to read my book, I think the last line is never trust a roadie. Anyway, what I'm getting at is I really do like Tommy Johansson, and part of me picking this track to react to was Nightwish. But then when I found out that people like Dan Vasc and Tommy Johansson also did covers, I was like, ooh, this could be fun. And when I watched Gary Moore, oh my God, the guy was so good. And it made me understand why Tommy's such a big fan, because I know he is. I know he's done other tracks of Gary Moore, and I think that Gary Moore was a very big influence on his guitar playing, right? Anyhow, I've listened to now like 20 some odd versions of this crazy cool track. Some of them are covers, some of them were Gary Moore live. It was awesome. I do question, I wonder what made Tommy pick this track or fall in love with it. Was it Gary's music video? Was it one of the live performances? What was it? Tommy sometimes watches. Tommy, if so, clue us in. Which was the performance that made you a huge Gary Moore fan? Or was it Thin Lizzy? Or is it all of it? You can plead whatever you choose. Anyway, what's going to be good? 7 minutes, man. A lot of the versions of this track are short. What Gary crushed it on, or the guitar solos in this track are so bitchin', especially live. So I don't think Tommy's going to be chintzy on us. He's going to do this whole thing because we got 7 minutes, man. And he's a fan. So that's why I saved, in my opinion, what I think will be the best cover. So let's do this. Before we really get into it, he's already doing the solo, so I'm a dick. But dude, red guitar, Gary Moore guitar, very cool.
Each night within his prison cell, he looks out through the bars. He reads the letter that she wrote. One day he'll know the taste of freedom. Over the hills and far away, she prays he will return one day. As sure as the river reached the sea, back in his arms again she'll be. Over the hills and far away, he swears he will return one day. As sure as the river reached the sea, back in his arms again she'll be. Over the hills and far away. Over the hills and far away. Over the hills and far away.
That was great. Please subscribe to Tommy if you guys don't already do so. All right, was it the best for last? Humble opinion. Yeah, I liked it, man. I like Tommy's version better than Nightwish. I love Marco's vocal in Nightwish. I really do. And the way Juka plays those drums is badass. I mean, badass. So those are my two favorite things about the Nightwish version. But here, dude, you got Tommy just destroying the guitar. Gary Moore was such an amazing guitar player on his stuff. I still think I prefer Gary more than anybody, but I mean, it's his track, you know, it was his track, so it was cool. What I liked about Tommy here was, I love the red guitar, had to stop and say something, you know, it's the full homage aspect. You can see he's this little giddy kid, just like loves Gary Moore and everything about Gary Moore. That's super neat. I love that Tommy did everything himself, put it all together. It just shows like a respect level. And at the end of the day, you know, you're a music fan. That's why I do it. And this is a killer track. It's a killer track. And I think that's what was going on in Tommy's head. And but the guitar stuff, I mean, was so good. Tommy did such a good job on that guitar. It was just so killer. It was what I was hoping for. I was going to say expecting, but it's kind of aggressive. But it was what I was hoping for. And I got it. I really, really liked it. So... thank you, bro. It was worth like 20 versions of this track to get to Tommy performing it. I just loved all of that. That was such a fun run for me. Hopefully, if you guys watched them all, I don't know if all you guys will, but I'm sure most of you won't. It's a lot of this track. It's probably like 2 hours of Over the Hill and Far Away, but I really dug it. I enjoyed this whole experience. So, guys, thank you ever so much. Tommy, you're awesome. And if you watch this, Tommy, clue us in and tell us for this particular track, what was the performance that made you want to cover? It was one of the live shows. If so, which one? Or the music video? Or maybe just the track, man. Maybe it was from a record. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe we'll never know. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing all of you on the next one. Hey, the podcast is over. What are you still doing here? Well, while you're here, like and subscribe. Thanks.